Hello everybody, it's me Laura again, and today I'd like to warmly welcome you to a couple of bedtime stories. So I was recently sent this book by the team of the Sleepy Pebble and Other Stories, Calming Tales to Read at Bedtime. This book was carefully created with good sleep and rest in mind, and was crafted to focus on calming imagery and relaxation techniques. And I will just read to you what it says on the back. The Sleepy Pebble and Other Stories is a soothing collection of stories co-written by sleep specialist Alice Gregory and children's book writer Christy Kirkpatrick. They have crafted these tales to incorporate mindfulness and other techniques that can aid relaxation. Coupled with dreamlike and calming illustrations, this treasury could make bedtime a little bit easier. So in this video today, I will be reading 2 of the 5 stories included within this book. So feel free to sit back and relax as I read to you a couple of bedtime stories. If you'd like to check out this book, I will leave a link to it in the description for you. We have the contents of the book, an introduction for grown-ups. Will this book help? How to use this book? The Sleepy Pebble, a story about bedtime routine. The Tree Who Wanted to Stay Up Late, a story about going to bed early. The Giraffe Who Liked a Bath, a story about relaxing before bedtime. The Ever So Tired Snail, a story about bedtime environment. The Pig Who Needed to Sleep, a story about the benefits of sleep. Tips for a relaxing bedtime and better sleep. Questions and answers, acknowledgements about the authors and illustrator. So I'm now going to move to the first story. So our first story is The Sleepy Pebble. Pebble wakes, as he does every morning, safe and snug in his seabed. He opens one eye, then he opens the other. He yawns and stretches and yawns. He sleepily rubs his eyes and enjoys feeling warm and cozy. He thinks about the day ahead. Let's think about Little Pebble. Imagery. Be as quiet as you can and think about Pebble in his seabed. Try to picture him yawning and stretching and yawning. Think about Pebble's seabed. Be still and calm and think about the ocean floor on which he is lying. Imagine a blanket or some thick seaweed keeping Pebble warm. Staying quiet, look out beyond Pebble's seabed and into the clear water. Imagine the waves rolling out to sea. Listen to the sounds the waves make. Listen really hard. Pebble usually spends the morning playing with his brothers and sisters, but today he feels like a change. He eats breakfast, brushes his teeth, and shuffles outside. Do you want to join us, Pebble? His brothers and sisters ask. We are playing hide and seek. We are hiding and peeping, peeping and hiding. Pebble loves hide and seek. Usually he would join in, but today he wants to do something different. Thanks, but no thanks, he says. I feel like a bit of a change. Pebble nods goodbye and continues on his way. After a while, Pebble spots his friends, dancing and shuffling, shuffling and dancing. Do you want to join us, Pebble? His friends ask, calling him over. We are practicing our dance steps for the Grand Pebble Ball. Pebble loves dancing. Usually he would join in, but not today. No thank you, he says. I'm off on an adventure. Pebble nods goodbye and continues on his way. After a while, Pebble sees a school of fish swimming past silently. Do you want to come with us? The fish ask him. We're off to explore the sea. We are splashing and diving, diving and splashing. Pebble smiles. And that's the sea with all of the fish. Okay. I want to do something different, he thinks. And this is something different. Yes, please, he says. And a golden fish lets Pebble climb on her back. Pebble loves swimming with the fish. He sees fish that are big and small, red and green and silver and gold. He hears the quiet chatter of sea creatures and enjoys the feeling of the cool sea against him. This is great fun, Pebble says, and his new friends agree. They have a wonderful day together, exploring the ocean and all the things it has to offer. The youngest fish start to yawn. It is time to start getting ready to go home. Where is your home, Pebble? The fish asks. I can take you there. Pebble is starting to feel tired. He wants to go home. Let's help Pebble get to his seabed at the bottom of the ocean. Imagine that you have Pebble in your hand and that every time you squeeze him, it pushes him towards his home. For this to work, it is really important that you are very quiet. Be quiet and lie very still. Be as calm and as quiet and as still as you can be. Now listen. Imagine you have Pebble in the palm of your hand. Squeeze Pebble as hard as you can. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax your hand. Take a really big breath in through your nose and slowly let it out. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how sleepy your hand is now. Now imagine Pebble is in your other hand. Remember to be as quiet as you can for the squeezing to work. Squeeze Pebble as hard as you can. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax your hand. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feel how sleepy your hand is now. Now imagine Pebble is under your foot, right under your toes. Squeeze your foot. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax your foot. Take a deep breath in slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how sleepy your foot is now. Now for the other foot. Squeeze your foot. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax your foot. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how sleepy your foot is now. Finally, imagine that you are a little pebble and squeeze your whole body. Keep squeezing and then relax your whole body. Take a deep breath in and slow breathe out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how relaxed your whole body is now. Well done. Pebble is home safely. He is feeling very tired now. Pebble has something to eat, then brushes his teeth. He goes to his seabed and gets in. He is safe, snug, and relaxed. Pebble yawns and stretches and stretches and yawns. He closes one eye and then the other. He enjoys feeling warm and still. He thinks about the day he has spent swimming with the fish. Then his mum and dad come to read him a story and say good night. Did you enjoy something different? Mum asks him. I did, Pebble says. It's good to try new things sometimes. That's true, Mum agrees. You did a great job of being brave and trying something new. Pebble pulls his blanket up to his chin and feels very pleased to be safe and snug in his seabed. I like doing things that are different, Pebble says, but sometimes, and especially when I'm going to sleep, I like doing things that aren't different. Me too, Dad says gently. At bedtime, Pebble says thoughtfully, I like doing things that are just the same, Mum agrees. She kisses Pebble goodnight and leaves the room, so that Pebble can fall asleep as he falls asleep every evening, safe and snug in his seabed. And that is the story of the Sleepy Pebble. And now we're going to be moving on to our next story. Our next story is The Tree Who Wanted to Stay Up Late. Willow was a small but strong tree with light green curls that poured over a shiny, shimmering lake at the edge of a forest. She had been friends with Wise Old Tree, who was as tall as she was small, for as long as she could remember. However, there was one thing about Wise Old Tree that Willow could never understand. Why do you always go to sleep so early? Willow asked Wise Old Tree every evening as he got himself ready for bed. When I'm grown up, I want to stay up late and see what happens at night time in the forest. Night time is for night creatures like owls and bats, Wise Old Tree told Willow each time she asked. Us trees need our sleep. We need to keep our branches strong so that the birds can build their nests here. We need to keep our roots strong so that we do not tumble into the lake. And we need to grow lots of leaves to provide shelter for all our animal friends who live in the forest. Let's think about Willow and Wise Old Tree in the forest. Be as quiet as you can and think about Willow and Wise Old Tree. Imagine them together at the edge of the forest by the shiny, shimmering lake. Think about Willow with her long branches full of curly green leaves. Now picture Wise Old Tree and his strong branches full of brown, green, and yellow leaves. Picture his branches moving gently in the wind. Staying quiet, look beyond Willow and Wise Old Tree. Picture the large shimmering lake in front of Willow. Imagine hearing the sounds of ducks moving and quacking on the lake, and the sound of the water gently lapping against the bank. Listen really hard. And there's the forest. Willow thought Wise Old Tree was probably right, but she couldn't stop thinking about what happened at night time. Every year, when Willow celebrated her birthday, she made a wish that she could stay up late and see what happened when she would normally be asleep. Year after year, Willow made the same wish on her birthday. Then the day approached when she was no longer an infant, but was about to become a grown-up tree. "What would you like for your birthday?" Wise Old Tree asked. "I would really like to stay up past bedtime, just for a little bit, to see what happens in the forest at night time," Willow replied thoughtfully. "Very well," said Wise Old Tree. "When you are a grown-up, you must do what is right for you. But you know I won't be able to join you, as I always go to sleep at the same time each night. In fact, it's my bedtime now." Wise Old Tree said good night and began to get ready for bed. He sleeps best when he rests on a bed of soft, warm soil. Let's make the soil warm and soft for Wise Old Tree. Imagine that you have some soil in your hands. Be quiet and lie very, very still. Be as calm and as quiet and as still as you can be. First, let's squeeze your hands really hard so that the soil gets soft and warm for Wise Old Tree. That's right, keep squeezing. The soil is becoming just right for Wise Old Tree's bed. Now relax your hands. Take a really big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how sleepy your hands are now. Now it's time to squeeze the soil with your feet so that the earth under your toes gets soft and warm too. Squeeze your feet. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax them. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how sleepy your feet are now. Finally, let's squeeze the soil with your whole body. Keep squeezing the soil with every part of your body. That's right. Keep squeezing. Now relax. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel how relaxed your whole body is now. Well done. There is enough soft, warm soil to make a cozy bed that is perfect for Wise Old Tree to sleep on. Although her birthday was only a few days later, the wait felt like forever. Finally, the big day arrived. Willow had a party and invited all the creatures of the forest: deer and squirrels, ducks, swans, woodpeckers, and all sorts of animals gathered by the edge of the lake to celebrate Willow's special day. As the day grew late and the sun started to drop low behind the trees, the forest creatures began to rub their eyes and started gathering their families together, ready to return to their homes. "Will anyone stay up with me to see what happens in the forest at night time?" Willow asked. forest animals smiled, but shook their heads. "Thanks, Willow, but we are all tired now," one of the deer told Willow. "I need my sleep to be ready for tomorrow. The fawn all get up as soon as the sun rises, and I need my energy to look after them." The other animals all told Willow why they too needed to get home to their warm, cozy beds. "Never mind," Willow said. "I'll stay up on my own, just for a little while." The forest creatures said their goodbyes and left to go home. Wise Old Tree wished Willow a very happy birthday, and then he too went to bed. Willow felt the air grow cooler and the sky become darker. Before long, she couldn't see anything other than shadows, and the only sound she could hear was the occasional swish of the leaves. The owl, who is awake at night and asleep during the day, woke up and came out of a nearby tree. He was surprised to see Willow still awake. "Aren't you tired?" the owl asked Willow. "It's very late." Willow had to admit that she was getting just a little bit sleepy. Her branches were starting to droop, and her roots were getting tired. "What happens in the forest at night?" Willow asked the owl. "That's what I really want to find out." "Well," the owl told her, "it's hard for you to see, but there are other owls here, and bats, and other nighttime creatures, all doing what they need to do while the day creatures sleep. Then, in the morning, we go to sleep, and the day creatures get up." Willow was really tired now. She looked at Wise Old Tree. He was fast asleep, getting his strength back for tomorrow. "I think it's time for me to go sleep now too," Willow told the owl, yawning. "I really am very sleepy." Wise Old Tree was as wise as his name. There was a reason he went to bed at the same time each night. Now that Willow was a grown-up tree, well, she decided she wouldn't stay up late after all. She would go to bed at the same time each night, at the very same time as Wise Old Tree. And there she is asleep. So that is just a couple of stories from the Sleepy Pebble and other stories. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.